I need winter to go away, please. I'm tired of you. Go away. It's 37 degrees. There's a little bit of snow falling. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired of this.
Man. It's just lovely. There you go pee, but it's cold. You go pee pee? Oh, what a good girl. You're cold. See, I'm going back inside. It's too cold out here.
I love gadgets. I love toys. Man, this really sucks. I'm sitting here. I'm on my Blink camera system, and I'm sitting here watching the beach house renovation, and they're putting floors in, and it's sunny and 60 degrees. And if you haven't seen the beach house lately, let me pull it up for you. It's painted. Let's go live. I don't know if you can see that or not. But it's been painted, so all the wood is white, the house is green, gravel driveway is in, countertops are in, floors are being put in today, and I'm sitting here watching it, and it's 60-something degrees and sunny. Ah! Get me out of here! Man, I'm so tired of this weather. This might actually be a good day to clean this thing up and do a little back lap. So I'll be doing that video coming up. Check your email. I've picked the last $2,000 winners, and I sent them emails, and they're not responding. So I sent them another email and said, you got 7 days to respond. Because it's the last 2 days. Last 2 times, I'm writing a check for $1,000 for you guys. Make sure in the description below, I'll put a link to our website, and look for the email sign up if you want to do some of our giveaways this year. But check your emails, people, please. Grow, 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 grow. So this is part of a project we got coming up. We're going to talk about seedlings. We're going to talk about how deep to plant seeds, because I didn't see a good video about that, and I finally got some good answers. So anyways, I'll show you this testing coming up. When'd you get the horse, Doc? Oh, gotta love alfalfa pellets. Gotta love them. I just spent 2 days making a video about using organic products like pellets and grains for fertilizers in your gardens on your lawn. If you haven't watched that, watch that video. I just put it up. Wife has gone to work, which means the laboratory can now open. The kitchen. Dude, it is just nasty out there. It's dropping down. Temperature's dropping and dropping. It started off in the 40s at 5 a.m. this morning, and now it's down to like 37 degrees, and I expect to see some snow. But here's what everyone's talking about right now. They're talking about all this rain and all this snow, and they're worried about stuff that I've put down. And yes, it is a little bit of concern, but that's one of the reasons why we've really been stressing to put biochar down into your soil, because biochar will hold on to things. So remember that. That's one benefit of adding the biochar. But let's talk about, this is a point that I try and get across to people about when to apply. You really need to look at your 10-day forecast, which I know is never exact. But what I want to see is, I want to see that dry sponge effect. So if you're going to put something like a pre-emergent or a chemical or even fertilizer, something that's more fast release, that needs to get into your lawn, I really want you to have 2 full days of like dry, sunny weather. Then apply it down. Because when a sponge is dry, believe it or not, that's a compressed sponge. When a sponge is dry, as soon as water hits it, it'll absorb the water and anything that's in the water. Once it's saturated, that's it. So, if you can get those chemicals onto the lawn or whatever you're putting out there while it's dry, it'll go right into the soil, and you don't have to worry about runoff. That's the main thing we're talking about today. We're not talking about leaching, we're talking about runoff. So the concept here is that when you want to put something, when it rains, there. Now the sponge is completely saturated, but it not only pulled in the water, but it pulled in the treatments, chemicals, or whatever else was in the water. And you can see what I have. My pre-emergent, my fertilizers, or everything are all in here. Now let's take this sponge and let's put some treatment on it and let's see what happens. So here is the sponge that was saturated and then treatment put on, and you can see I have a very light green color, which means that the chemical didn't really absorb a lot into that already pre-soaked sponge. Now, let's take this one. And you can see that it's much darker. Well, let's also take this one. I'm going to let it soak back up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it rain some more. And let's put it in a whole bunch of more rain. The sponge has already taken up as much water as it really can, along with those chemicals. So the fact that I'm exposing it to more water really isn't that important. It's just basically going to sit there. So now, even though I've sat here and I've let it go through all this water, I'm soaking it and soaking it, let's compare it to this sponge. And you can see that this is still darker than this one. Ooh. It's 27 degrees out here this morning. So now you get to take our quiz, okay? I'm going to put up my 10-day forecast, and I want you to look at this forecast, and I want you to tell me, based on what we just learned, when I should put down my treatment. Now, I told you, what you're going to look for is you're going to look for a couple days where it's not freezing, where you don't have rain, you have some sun, so 2 days in a row where your soil, that upper layer, can dry out. So the first window I would have is here. That's my first window. My second window I would have is down here. Those are the two windows when the sponge is going to be a little bit drier. This really comes into play with just runoff, and especially with when you're spraying treatments and doing anything else. It's not about treatments that need to be on the foliage, because if you're spraying a treatment that needs to be a foliage treatment, then you would actually go ahead of time and say, I've got 2 sunny days, I'm going to treat right after the rain stops, so it has 2 sunny days to be on the plant. So it's different than that. These are soil-based treatments. So, just a quick little tip about the heavy rains. I got several shorter videos coming out. Hit subscribe, because next I think I'm going to do something about planting seeds. And then I've got an electric pressure washer. Since a lot of you guys have asked about it, I'm ordered an electric pressure washer. We're going to talk about concrete cleaning myths, and we'll explain a little bit of it. I'll see you in a while. Doc.